Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, today, what I want to do, I want to talk about the reason why crime is so rampant. Is because policing these days is antiquated, and um, criminals and crime have moved on, and that's what we're seeing right now. Crime has organized, and they do flash mobs, and this is a whole different type of attack these days, and police departments and law enforcement don't know how to handle this, and this is where I come in as a specialist in this field, because that was part of counterterrorism, and counterterrorism deals with flash mobs like this. Instead of stealing, they kill. And so my division, got in front of these terrorists, and we dealt with them. And with terrorists, they don't respect the rule of law. And so um, if you arrest them, they're just going to do their time, and then they're going to come back out and continue on with their criminal ways. And so my job when I was in counterterrorism was to make the solution permanent. And how we made that the solution permanent wasn't always us taking them out, killing them. Sometimes we did other things to kind of move them along out of very sensitive areas, kind of like what I did when I was a homeless encampment manager here in the city of Oakland. When I came back to the encampment, because number one, the neighborhood asked me to come back because the criminals had literally taken over my 77th Ave encampment back in 2020 when I came back. I left temporarily at 2019 because you probably remember the little gun incident there, which the police got wrong. But anyway, I went back out and immediately went after to get the criminals' attention. And what I did, I knew that a lot of these cars were stolen and they're being stripped. And when I saw enough characters there doing the work, I called the police. Police came down, arrested 17 of them. But here's the thing. One of the more dangerous characters in that group was a drug dealer. And that drug dealer carried a 357 Magnum. I know him. I know his gun and how dangerous and unpredictable this particular person was. And so him and his crew literally came into my former camp while I was gone and ran everybody out. And how they ran everybody out was they used force and intimidation. And sometimes what they did was just stick their gun right, the 357 Magnum, right into people's faces, or shoot some of their stuff with his gun. And so rather than having a very volatile situation, after I got rid of the first 17, that left this drug dealer with only 4 of his crew left. And so what I did, in order to move him and flush him out of there, I had to interrupt his drug dealing business. And so how I did his drug dealing business was an old tactic from my counterterrorism days, where we contact a local law enforcement, in this case, Oakland Police Department. I talked with the area sergeant. We arranged to have police officers take their break in the driveway right across the street from the drug dealer, literally just right across the street in the evening. And I specified a time for them to do this, because this interrupts the flow of drugs that was going out of the camp through that person and his crew. And they were making substantial amount of money selling meth, heroin. I mean, you name it. He had everything over there. And how he stayed planted was that he surrounded himself not only with his crew but with stolen cars, and so it made it very difficult to get to him. And so the only way that we could get to him was by hurting him financially. And so what the police officers and I came up with, or what I told them to do, was on their breaks, have two, maybe three cars come over, go park in the driveway across the street from him, and take their breaks over there. All three cars, two cars, don't have any headlights on, but have your reds and blues on, and um, interrupt his business, and take your 30-minute breaks, your lunches or whatever over there. And so they did that for uh, a total of 8 consecutive nights at various times that I specified. And it interrupted this drug dealer's business so much he had to move. So on the ninth day, he literally picked up him and his crew and left the area. And so that's how it's strategies like that, as a counterterrorist specialist, that I'm going to be able to clear out Oakland if you elect me the next Oakland mayor to replace Shane Tao. And we're hoping that the recall gathers enough signatures to get on the ballot. We have another month to get all of the signatures. In fact, yesterday I was out looking for that petition throughout Oakland and also in San Leandro. And so still looking for it. And we know that the signature gathering is out there. Please look for that and sign that registration. I did sign the petition for the Pamela Price recall. She has really disappointed me, and just the appearances where her significant other is also being paid and works in the office, and she's in charge of the office. So that is a significant conflict of interest right there. And it's these types of conflicts of interest that distracts from the actual jobs that need to be done here in Oakland. And I'm not going to be distracted because I don't have those distractions. And none of the three past mayors, Sheng Tao, Libby, nor Jean Quan, had any vision. They had no plan for the city because they were too busy putting out fires during their administration. They had no vision. They couldn't fix anything or move anything forward here in the city of Oakland. Whereas I have the knowledge, I have the background and the skills and the experience to lead Oakland into the future with a vision, and also to correct the past that we're dealing with right now, namely the criminals. And so if you go out, sign that petition, get Mayor Sheng Tao, her recall on the ballot for November 5th. And should there be enough votes, which would be a 2/3 majority vote to remove her, we hit that number in November, then there's an automatic immediate runoff for candidates to replace Mayor Sheng Tao immediately. And I plan on being on that ballot and getting your vote, because as far as I know, I'm the only one with the experience in counterterrorism, because that's what's happening throughout Oakland. It is terrorism. The criminals have moved from just being plain run-of-the-mill criminals to now organized terrorists. And this is a specialty group. And, and it takes special experience, special knowledge in order to deal with this. Otherwise, we're just going to continue seeing more of these flash mob criminal groups and also the hit and run guerrilla groups that are hitting gas stations and small businesses. I have a plan for that. That's called the Community Safety Officer. 15 officers around the clock in every district, in addition to the police officers. So that means we have 60 additional armed security officers that are also deputized and carrying weapons in marked vehicles. So that increases the appearance of um, more policing and more chances of them being caught, because these security guards will be able to defend themselves if they come under fire. Also, I will be one of the mayors that will be pushing here in California for concealed carry weapons permits like mine, not with a federal firearms like mine, but with a California CCW. I plan on getting those in place, and there's great evidence that an armed society is a much safer society. We had a very similar situation decades ago, and how that state dealt with the rampant crime, like what we're seeing happen in Florida back in the 90s. And what ended up happening? They ended up passing concealed carry weapons permits for all of the residents. And crime within 1 week dropped 50%. Dropped 50% because the community is now armed and able to protect themselves. In fact, I remember one incident where a robber went in to a restaurant to rob the till, and ended up being surrounded by seniors, armed seniors, and they held that robber until the police got them. But also, crimes dropped, murders dropped. What can I say? An armed society is a safe society. I plan on making Oakland a whole lot safer. It's been a long time that we've dealt with crime, and we need to deal with it a different way, because crime is not the same that it used to be. And we see that today. Thanks for joining me. We'll be right back.